Okay, so yesterday, the reporters were talking to Aaron Judge and some of the other Yankees and about one of their big trade targets who they faced last night, Luis Castillo. And they got around talking to him as well. And Judge was singing his praises. His own teammates, Joey Votto, and them were singing his praises. But he was also understanding that the fact that they're probably going to tear this thing down at some point, he's going to be moved. Now, a couple things that were kind of notable to me. Number one, the Dodgers obviously being a prime competitor for the Yankees, and the Dodgers can essentially do this if they want. They have 7 prospects in the MLB's top 100 list. They have the most amount, and the Yankees I think have 5. And the Dodgers have shown a little bit more of a willingness to part with top prospects to get big players, more so than the Yankees have recently. So that gives them a big advantage, and as well as the quantity of guys they have in the top 100, because it will cost a lot of capital to get a Luis Castillo on board. And with Walker Buehler out for a while, potentially till September, the appetite to get a guy like Castillo to add to the fold is a good, is a serious one, I should say. So I would not count out the Dodgers. The other team I would not count out is the Houston Astros. They are my dark horse in the Luis Castillo sweepstakes. Add him to Justin Verlander and the rest of those guys, lights out, man. I think it's going to be probably lights out. Now, pivoting over to our team, the Yankees, Luis Castillo said something yesterday that raised my eyebrows and caught my attention, and in a good way. Because I asked him about, cosmetic and appearance, and he said last night he would have no problem cutting his braids and, making cosmetic changes if he came to the Yankees. That, to me, shows a willingness to. That's one, it shows a team player, a guy that wants to win, and 2, it shows. It to me says, Cashman, call these dudes now. They want Oswald Peraza, give them Oswald Peraza, okay? Give them. Let's stop the obsession with the needing to replace our shortstop in New York. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen, okay? Let's get real. He's not the big problem. So, one of our big problems is now starting pitching and relief, and obviously the lack of production in the outfield. And to me, if I'm Cashman, I'm calling these guys now. I'm calling them yesterday. I would have barricaded the stadium yesterday, just put cops everywhere and say, dude, you're not leaving until we trade for you. Like, that's what I would have done probably. But when he said that, to me, that motivated me to. I mean, if I'm Cashman and said, I got to call this guy, I'm adding Peraza. Okay? And the fact that they brought in Tyler Wade yesterday in a trade with the Angels leads me to believe that they're willing to move Peraza in a trade for the right piece. And Luis Castillo right now in the pitching rotation is the right piece. Okay, there are some other guys available, but Luis Castillo is the big get. You pair him with Gerrit Cole. I would much rather him be paired with Cole than Verlander. I'd much rather him be paired with Cole than, anybody on the Dodgers. That's just the bottom line, right? So as soon as he said he'd be willing to make those changes, and not everybody is, Bryce Harper wasn't. So, and I love Bryce Harper. I really wish he would have been here, but I'm not disappointed that they got Giancarlo Stanton. I'll tell you that much. But that said, back to Luis Castillo, he said he'd be willing to make that change. That, to me, was green light right there. Green light. Come and get me, boys. Come and get me. Now, again, he doesn't really have a say. He's going to go where there's a chance. I mean, with the Reds as hot as almost as hot as the Orioles and the Mariners right now, don't be surprised if he doesn't get moved. But I think at this point, with the Reds, already started part of their tear down, it makes sense for them to move him and get as much as they possibly can for him, and really, really accelerate the building process, right? And at the end of the day, I think he gets moved. But those seem to be the 3 teams: the Dodgers, the Astros being the dark horse, and the Yankees. And again, but when he said that right there, I would have given Peraza, I would have given pretty much whatever they need, with the exception of Anthony Volpe. And if they get Peraza, they don't need Volpe anyway. They've got Jonathan India already. They don't need both of them. Okay, so and you give them whatever they want. So because that's the guy. They're in a position now where they have to overpay. Okay, for this guy. Every time he's going out now, he's shut down. He's lights out. Look what he did to the Yankees last night. It was a brilliant performance. And I'd rather have him in pinstripes doing that against other teams than wearing that red outfit doing it against the Yankees. That's for sure. We need a guy like that. Cole needs a co-ace, a number 2 right there, or 1B, or whatever you want to call it, in that rotation for the postseason. Okay, we cannot rely on the guys we have right now, unfortunately. I like Nestor Cortes pitching well, but he's going to be on an innings limit. Okay? Pretty much every else. Tyone has shown some aggression. I hope he makes some changes. Montgomery's reliable, but he's not an ace. Okay? I like him, but he's not an ace. And Luis Severino, we just don't know now. With him going on the IL, we don't know what it's going to be like when he gets off. So he's already walking on a fine line to begin with, because he's got 80-something pitches, and it's more pitches than he's thrown in almost 4 years. So he's reaching a limit too. So there's only so much we can get out of the guy. And Luis Castillo, to me, represents the guy. And that was the opening for the Yankees. He said he would make the changes. He would cut. He had no problem cutting his hair and doing the stuff. And the fact that the guy's cool as ice, right? He's just got ice in his veins, man. He was unflappable, under control in New York yesterday. No pressure at all, just doing the thing and dominating. That's the type of guy that we need here. Okay, that's the type of guy. Yeah, and he'd have to deal with New York pressure. I get it, but again, he would be a co-ace with Cole. Cole handles it. Okay, even though he has a bad game on occasion, he still handles it. He answers the questions. He does the thing. Okay, and he goes out and he helps his teammates all the time. So, Luis Castillo, man, Cashman, go and get this man, please, all right? By the way, if this is your first time here, welcome. Please subscribe to this channel if you like baseball content and just real talk like this, okay, because I want to continue it on. I'll be on live on trade deadline day, so you know exactly what happens for all the teams, especially the Yankees. I got my trade deadline predictions coming up and a lot more other stuff, and I don't want you to miss anything. So, but that's it right now. I'll be back later on. They're playing Boston now for the next 3 games, so that's going to be another challenge for the Yankees. And again, they've got to, thankfully Boston lost last night when the Yankees lost, so the lead didn't change. But they have a rough stretch ahead of them. Boston, Houston, Baltimore, who's still red hot, and the Mets. Formidable opponents, all 4 of them. So now it's time for the Yankees to show what they have and to bring in the pieces that they need to bring in to put them, if they're serious about winning the World Series, and now's not the time to shop at the bargain store, guys. All right? Let's keep this going.